So some friends of mine have just moved into a pretty spectacular property, and I decided I would come out here and fly. It's over water, which you can't see right now, but you'll see in just a minute. And it's got me a little nervous because it's over water. Anything goes in the drink, it probably isn't coming out. And with that, we are done. I've not flown over still water before. I've only flown over, say, the ocean or areas that have ripples in the water so you can see the water. And I couldn't see the water. I didn't know where the water began and the air ended. And as a result, I'm pretty sure that at one point I got really close to the water. To make matters worse, we've had a lot of rain. My camera got wet, so now it needs to dry out. So not this camera, but my FPV camera. That is not the way that I planned for this to go. I planned for some epic rippage and some epic footage. Maybe, you know, hit these trees over here in dives and do some things back here, and was not meant to be. But that actually brings me to my point for this actual video, because I came out here with a point. I wasn't sure if this was going to go well, and that is that things don't always go well, and we all know that. But a lot of us suffer from what is known as imposter syndrome. So imposter syndrome is this idea that you know a few tricks and everybody thinks you're really good, or everybody thinks you're decent at what you do. But if anybody could look inside your brain and find out that there were just a few tricks that you did and that that's all you really knew how to do, then they would know that you are a fraud. And that is at the heart of what holds a lot of people back. I myself have suffered from imposter syndrome multiple times throughout my life. You know, I remember the first hardcore, you know, super intense engineering job that I had. I was convinced for a year that they were going to fire me. And it wasn't because I was doing a bad job. It's because I thought they don't know yet that I'm a fraud. They don't know yet that I am a person that has absolutely no clue what he is doing. I had figured out a few tricks, I figured out a few ways to get things done, but anytime they asked me to do something new, I would completely panic because I wouldn't know how to do it. That is the heart of imposter syndrome. It's this idea that you're really not as good as everybody thinks you are. You just know a few tricks, and that's what's let you get as far as you have, and you don't even deserve to be here. The truth of the matter is that part of growing, part of getting to the next level, is entering into an area that is uncomfortable. It's entering into an area where you don't know all the answers. If you're somewhere where every question you can answer easily, then you're not in a place where you can grow. If you're in a place where everything is just tried and true and there's no real difficulty to it, then you're not in a place you can grow. But if you're in a place you can grow, you're immediately going to get put into situations that are uncomfortable and that you think you're not qualified for. And if you can overcome that fear, that thought in your head that somebody is going to find out that you're a fraud, you will be able to tackle those unknown areas with more gusto and with more just sheer ferocity than if you are afraid constantly that somebody's going to find out that you don't know the answer. And that goes not only for FPV, where it's like, you know, I watch some of the elite pilots and I'm just like, man, I'm never going to be that good. I'm just like, I know like 3 or 4 tricks, and it just, oh God, it's so hard to keep up with these guys. The fact of the matter is that I have a skill that most people don't, and so do you if you're in FPV. You have a skill that most people don't. You have an eye for things that most people don't, and you are probably a skilled individual. You may not be as skilled as these other people, but you're way more skilled than the majority of the people that are walking around on 2 feet. And just like, you know, with a job, if your boss asks you to do something that you don't know how to do and your immediate reaction is fear, check that imposter syndrome. See if maybe you can just think your way through it, right? So that's today's, I don't know what these are. These are starting to feel like, you know, pick-me-ups, but that is today's lesson, if you will. I am definitely one of these people that suffers from imposter syndrome. I have my whole life. I have to constantly remind myself that there is there's real skill and there's real meaning and there's real power packed inside this thing on top of my body, and that I can overcome quite a bit if I can push the fear to the side and instead execute and do the things that I actually can do. Anyways, y'all take it easy. I hope you enjoyed this. I'll talk to you later. Bye.